Can McCaffrey do it again? It's a coach. You're locked into Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, dual threat Christian McCaffrey. Fresh off a big game a week ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting Seattle Seahawks taking on the Carolina Panthers. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Carolinas and Bank of America Stadium here in Uptown Charlotte. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Carolina Panthers. As of this morning, summer officially over. It's time for autumn football, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now, he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to, looking over defenses. No interceptions is the number I lock in on. Before a touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he's not going anywhere to start the night. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. Avery Williamson there to make the stop. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. Defensively, here are the starters for Carolina. It's a unit that has had all sorts of issues against the pass. Dead last in the NFL, number 32 in the league.
They'll take that play right there each and every snap because throughout this season, they've given up some big plays. To be able to hold someone to no gain, oh, yeah, they'll take that one all game long.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. From the gun, it's Wilson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Now he's going to throw deep right side. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
3rd and long. It's Wilson dancing to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What did the columnist write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Now let's go. 3-19.
They go play action here on 1st down. And the Seahawks defense gets to him and they bring him down.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play action fake.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Looking to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll look to throw here. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's the Panthers punter now. Back deep, the dangerous Tyler Lockett. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
The numbers on the ground for Carson last week. 11 carries, 92 yards, and a touchdown. They go play action with Wilson.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now. Number 3 in the league in rushing, within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too. And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. A first catch for the man leading the NFL in receiving yards in this first month. And a first down to boot. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away. But it does get away and it's 2nd down. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
False start. Offense.
And that'll set them back 5. And the Panthers, who were the least penalized team in the entire NFL last year, come up here on a 1st and 15.
Green 39! Green 39!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Here's a starting 11 for Seattle, and they come in ranked 26 in the NFL against the pass. Against the pass, just numbers that they haven't liked. Number 30 in the league right now.
And those are the kind of plays that this unit needs to make, because they know that going against a team of this magnitude and the way that they're playing, they cannot afford to let them get on a roll early. Chip away at their timing.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Tackle made there by Frank Clark.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. In for the score. And the Panthers are going to take a first-quarter lead. And nowadays in NFL football, you have to account for all the receivers, sure, but the tight end's such a weapon, and they prove it right there.
Oh, without a doubt. And we're seeing now the golden age of tight ends catching the football. I go back to Kellen Winslow. To me, he was a prototype of what we're seeing today. We're seeing it each and every week now.
The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now Wilson on 2nd down. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Even though he's a 4th rounder, I think he might have a chance to play and prove that, hey, I could have been taken higher in that draft.
And we've seen so many times now, guys who go lower in the draft, undrafted free agents that become big-time players, Pro Bowl players. So you never know. 4th-round pick has a chance to be a really good player.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
Pulled in at the 24. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The numbers for McCaffrey last week. 18 carries, 72 yards, and a touchdown.
Are we playing old school football now? We've got the top 10 rusher in the league. He's sitting at number 10, but he has a chance to move up with a big-time game. So expect that offensive line every time they go to the bench and tell the offensive coordinator, let's run the football.
At the end of 1, 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down.
Here we go. Green 39.
Back to throw. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace, Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Funches with a catch over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And Sturgis able to knock it through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Here's Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Here we go now. 3-19.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Sliding out of it. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Some guys just have a knack for creating turnovers. He's got a little bit of that going. He forced a fumble last week, another one there.
And it just drives teams crazy because they realize that certain guys, as you said, have that knack, and they're trying to keep them away from the action, away from the ball. But the best ones have that overwhelming desire, that overwhelming need to get to the football and make it happen. And that he does.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They were forced to punt last time. Now, I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot. Great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. Buying time to his left. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. He's trying to parlay that great performance last week, NFC Offensive Player of the Week in Week 2, into a great performance in Week 3.
And the way he was able to do it last week, he started off doing it again this week. Energy, the way he comes off the line of scrimmage, attacks the defense, sets them back on their heels, and he finds openings as a result.
Here's Wilson, flush to his right. And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Wilson steps away. And he can't corral it. Maybe a big missed opportunity there defensively in the end zone. And now 3rd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. And he has reached the summit. Move over Peyton Manning. There's a new record holder at the top, partner.
And somewhere Peyton Manning is not excited about moving over, but he respects the fact that someone came and got his record. And we're here to see it. How exciting is this? Not just for us, but for all fans of football.
The extra point up and good. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. A drive there of just 4 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6. The Panthers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. The Panthers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Back to throw here. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
And I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
Now it's Lockett. Oh, the spin. Breaks the tackle. Now an alley. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. Room to run inside the 40. And down to the 28-yard line. 25 yards, the pickup there, and also a 1st down. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Flushed out right. And this is caught at the 8. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Now it's Wilson. Forced out to his left. His pass caught at the 4. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6.
That drive was quick and impressive. Almost like they had somewhere else they needed to be after the game.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. Extra point up and through. And the lead is now 14-10. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
Ah, you're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an interception.
For different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a
too many syllables.
You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. The point after is good, and that makes it a 21-10 game. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Third down, here's McCaffrey. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on fourth. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Here's the Panthers punter now. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Returnable for Lockett. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Play action. Now Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And this is taken in at the 5. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A big play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Point after, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, where it was the visiting Falcons who were able to come away with the victory. Andrew Luck, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. From there, we head down to the Sunshine State to check on the Jaguars at home in Jacksonville. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Houston Texans. 14-10, the final. And lastly, Monday Night Football has a good one lined up between the Cleveland Browns and the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. Looking left side, he's got a man. That's Bowen. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll set up a throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. The front office all smiles when the ink went dry on this new contract.
Not only them, how about the coaching staff? Because oftentimes the front office, the coaching staff may have different opinions about the value of a player. I think everyone was in sync on this one. He's a guy that they needed to keep.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking deep down. He's got a man. Complete. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their players. And they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
12 more yards there and another 1st down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Looking for Funchess, but it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Now it's Carson, and he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Pass interference. Defense.
Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And this is incomplete. But the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way has made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make this passing game get in gear. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They'll try to get the running game going with McCaffrey. And he'll get this one up to the 26. In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They'll drop to throw. And he's got his target. That's Moore. He's at the 40, the 20. Touchdown, Carolina. DJ Moore, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Panthers are able to cut into this lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits
on to add the extra point. Sturgis adds the PAT, and the lead will be cut down to 14. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. This fielded at the 2. There he goes left side. And almost coast to coast. A great return marked out all the way at the 2.
All right, let's give credit where credit is due. How about that return? Great blocking, great vision, all the way down to the 2-yard line. The only person who has to be upset, the guy who didn't get it into the end zone. That far and no reward.
Now Wilson rolling to his left. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. In for the score. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Extra point attempt to follow here. Extra point safely through. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. Finding room to the 20. And finally, wrestled down at the 11. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now in Charlotte. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Here's Carson. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the interception by the Seahawks D leads to a touchdown. And certainly some credit there for that touchdown goes to the offensive line.
They never get the credit they deserve in the stat sheet, but they are the reason that they got the points. Excellent job up front, clearing the way for the score.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Here we go.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you should have a few minutes.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. Might get a pick or 2.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Point after here coming up. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, you know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. And this one complete right side to Funchess. That one goes for 24 yards.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Back to throw now on first down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Bowen. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed, I did, my good man. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
We got 3. Flight. 380. Mike, 55. Right there in the middle. 55. Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. This is Carson. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And they will take a knee here. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Seahawks, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll try again next week at home against New England.